Welcome to the CA Performance Management version 3.5 video, CA Business Intelligence Report Launching and Situations to Watch report. CA Business Intelligence Jasper Report Server is a platform that allows for the reporting of CAPM performance data on the CABI Jasper Reports platform and comes free with a licensed version of CA Performance Management. This video examines the ability to launch CABI reports directly from the CA Performance Center UI and the Situations to Watch report, both new features offered in CA Performance Management 3.5. Since its inception in CA Performance Management 3.1, the integration with CA Business Intelligence Jasper Report Server, also known as CABI Server, has greatly expanded the available options when users view and analyze performance data gathered from their infrastructure. Version 3.5 continues to broaden this integration by implementing an in-application launch of CABI reports and dashboards from CA Performance Center, and by adding a new Situations to Watch report to predict the health of your monitored environment. We'll first look at the integrated report launching and how it's enabled by user synchronization. In previous versions of CA Performance Management, it was necessary to self-manage the addition of users to an integrated CABI server. The same username and password had to be used in both products to allow the integration to synchronize user-based criteria such as group visibility. Version 3.5 introduces user synchronization between CA Performance Management and CABI Server. Now every CA Performance Center user configuration change, creation, deletion, update is replicated to CABI. On the CABI side, every user created via the synchronization is given a description which begins with PM user, as seen here. This allows CABI server administrators to easily identify users which have been created by the CA Performance Management integration. The user synchronization between the two products enables single sign-on capability, which in turn allows for the in-application launch into the CABI server from CA Performance Center. Direct navigation from one product to another eliminates the need for a separate login, resulting in a more integrated experience. The inventory menu now has an item which brings the user directly to the CABI homepage. There is also a CA Business Intelligence Reports item in the Reports menu, which opens a dynamically generated list of reports and dashboards. One of these reports is the Situations to Watch report, which we'll examine next. The new Situations to Watch report provides capacity planners with critical insights into the predicted health of their infrastructure. Here we're launching it through the CA Performance Management Reports menu. Then, in the left-hand Options pane, we're selecting the following report parameters. For the time period, we'll choose to examine the last 7 days of data, and for granularity use, as poll data for greater accuracy. We'll choose Pacific Time as the time zone, and all manageable devices as our group scoping. Note that the set of groups listed here will be limited to only those accessible by the single sign-on user. Scrolling down further, we'll choose the interface metric family and percent discards as the metric this report will be based on, with a threshold value of 20%. We'll set Include Historical Situations to examine both past and future threshold crossings, and choose to limit the report size to the top 100 entries. Finally, we'll select the 7-day predicted value interval, leaving all the other parameters to their default value. After selecting the Apply button to run the report, we can see that the report contains 5 pages and is ordered according to when the threshold was or will be crossed. The heading at the top clearly states the parameter settings which were used to generate the report. The parenthesized time to threshold crossing values of the leading entries indicate threshold crossings which have occurred in the past. To consider only those threshold crossings which will happen in the future, we'll filter the past ones by deselecting Include Historical Situations. Running the report again, we can see that the leading entries now show threshold crossings predicted to occur in the future. Now let's assume that you are only interested in the threshold crossings which will occur in the next 5 days. For this, we'll choose a days to threshold filter operator of less than or equal and a value of 5 days. Running the report once more, we can see that the number of pages has decreased from 5 to 1 and that the time to threshold has been capped at 5 days. Note that until this point, we've examined threshold crossings. Crossings include passing through the threshold value in either direction, either ascending through it and going into violation or descending through it and coming out of violation. The slope trend column illustrates this. Now let's see how we can further filter our report to only show threshold violations. For this, we'll now set Show with Trend to increasing and rerun the report. The report now contains a reduced set of entries which only show predicted violations as confirmed by the upward arrows in the slope trend column. Now let's examine how our report output can be further refined through the application of business hours. Business hours are times of the day and week of increased importance, and in CA Performance Management 3.5, both the Situations to Watch and top-end CABI reports support them. Here we'll refine our data set from 7 days of continuous as-pulled data to only those as-pulled samples occurring between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. This makes our threshold violation predictions more accurate by eliminating off-hour data which may otherwise skew the results. For this report run, we'll also select Show Number of Samples to help determine the level of confidence we can have in the report. Running the report, you can see that the application of business hours has further refined the time to threshold values and altered the number of entries. Also, a new samples column has now been appended to the report to serve as a reliance measure. For each entry, it displays the number of samples used in calculating the report results. Threshold crossing times aren't the only measure that may be useful when it comes to potential problems in your infrastructure. The Situations to Watch report also generates 3 predicted values for every entry. The interval between predictions is determined by the delta in days for predicted values parameter. Here, a parameter value of 7 days has yielded predicted values 7, 14, and 21 days in the future. Changing the value to 30 days and running the report for the last time, we can see that the prediction values are now 30, 60, and 90 days in the future. The ability to easily change the prediction intervals can be especially valuable when performing capacity planning for varying time horizons. For more detailed information about CA Business Intelligence Jasper Report Server enhancements or other 3.5 features, click the information bubble in the top right corner to load the product page. From there, you can go to product documentation, visit CA communities, or see the learning path.